Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Vilic Law SEQFC preview show. My name is Darren and this is the Football Brisbane show. We've got one guest this evening. His name is Pato. He had a birthday 2 days ago.
Yesterday, mate, yesterday.
Yesterday, 1 day ago. How'd it go?
Yeah, good, mate. A little bit of time with the family. Football training last night, nothing changes. So, yeah.
Celebrate with football training.
That's it.
Did the lads look after you?
The ones that turned up, like I said, that injury crisis isn't getting. The guys that were actually there, yeah, we had a shortened session and was able to get home and have some cake with the family. So perfect.
Good stuff. Very good. All right, everyone. I hope you noticed I've got my new KPI gear this week. Nice new shirts. One of the few options that we've got.
Very nice.
Yes, very nice. All right, so let's look at the Brisbane Premier League, and there's one result that just sticks out so badly. Albany Creek Excelsior 9, the Lakes 0. This is first versus second. Now, they've seen a result like this in the NPLW before, but never in a men's competition like this. First versus second. What do you make of it, Pato?
Oh, look, I haven't watched the highlights yet, but when I first heard the score, it's hard to comprehend. Like you said, first v second. We always thought Albany Creek could be sort of runaway leaders in that league, but for them to then sort of, go and win it 9-0, shocked a few people, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. Are there any send-offs in the game or anything along those lines that sort of added to the scoreline?
Look, I'll just do a quick check. I remember keeping up with it at the time. Oh yes, there was one. So Jay McCusker.
What minute?
It doesn't say.
Yeah,
say. There was a red card there, so might have had an impact. Yep.
Still first v second. Even if you are down 10 men early in the piece, you'd expect a better showing than that. So the rest of the league aren't as good as Albany Creek, or Albany Creek are just that good.
Yes, well, they've more than just laid down a marker. They've laid down a beacon and put a flagpole on top, haven't they?
They definitely have, but I was looking at the league last night. I think there's only still 3 or 4 points in it. I know they've got the game in hand, but I think their home record, they're 5 from 5, and they've managed to have a couple of draws away from home. So maybe you want to get them away from home.
A glimmer of hope for the other teams there.
Yeah, so.
All right. Let's have a look at the other results. So UQ had a 2-1 win over Brisbane Knights. That was an away win. Bayside United back to form with a 5-1 victory over Centenary Stormers. Mount Gravatt 4-1 over Acacia Ridge, bit of a local derby that one. Toowong 5-0 over Western Spirit, and St George. Now they're a team that's found their mojo after the early season issues. 3-0 over the Gap. So let's have a quick look at the ladder. Albany Creek on top on 26 points, just 1 point behind of the Lakes, but of course, Albany Creek have a game in hand. St George, 22, and Bayside United also on 22. So it was a marker result, Pato, but there's still 4 points there. So you're right. It's a competition in 4 now.
Yeah, definitely. And we all know it's very rare a team goes for undefeated. I know St George did it last year, but Albany Creek will have to be on their game. I know they're red hot favourites, but they're going to be on their game week in, week out to not have a slip up here and there. A couple of poor results and brings the other teams right back into contention. Definitely.
Looking at the bottom of the ladder, Western Spirit, Centenary Stormers are on 6 points, and the Gap just the 1 win on 3. Looking at this weekend's fixtures, Centenary Stormers host St George Willawong, Bayside United up against Mount Gravatt, Acacia Ridge taking on the Lakes, Toowong up against the Gap, UQFC against Western Spirit, and Brisbane Knights against Albany Creek. No real standout games there, is there? It's
none that jump out of you, that's for sure.
None that whets the appetite. Maybe Bayside United, Mount Gravatt would probably be the most interesting out of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mount, the ones that took points off off Albany Creek, one of the draws. It was 2-2 the other week. So hot and cold side, I'd say, Mount Gravatt, looking at the results. So, yeah.
Yes. All right, let's move to your league now, Pato. So you had a 3-1 loss against the old enemy, Logan Metro.
First time we've got to play them at home in 3 seasons. I think we've played them 6-7 times now, and that's the first time we've got to actually play them at home. Yeah, look, very fit, mobile side, Metro. We matched it, went and break 1-1. Had a couple of key injuries sort of early in the second half, and they ran away with it. So we just don't have the personnel at the moment to sort of make any impact off the bench. I brought guys back. There's one guy that hadn't played for 14 weeks and was rushed straight back into first team. So that's just the predicament we're in at the moment. But, you know, we'll soldier on. We'll keep battling through. And, yeah, I mean, they deserve to win on the weekend. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They were the better side on the night, and full credit to them. How
come you haven't played a home game against them for so long?
So first year, our home ground wasn't ready.
Yep.
We were due to play them at the Logan complex, and then we asked to change the fixture, and their bargaining tool was to play them at their ground. So we said, okay. Last year with the COVID scenario, you could play anyone away twice or home twice, how it panned out. So we didn't get them there. The first season when we played them in the semi-final was at their ground, and then the final was obviously at Logan Sports Complex, and then season 3 we finally get them at home. So
right,
yeah, it wasn't to our liking. Didn't help us much. So yeah, hopefully next time.
Looking at the other fixtures, Annerley had a 1-0 win against the Bulls. North Pine, they keep rolling on, 2-1 against Slacks Creek. They had to come from behind in that game. We might come back to that shortly. Moggle and New Farm a 3-3 draw. Pine Hills 3-0 up against Newmarket. AC Carina had the bye. Now let's check the ladder. North Pine, 10 games, 7 wins, 3 draws for 24 points. Logan Metro slipped into second place now on 21. Newmarket dropped to third on 19. Pine Hills rounding out the top 4 on 17. You're in 7th place, Pato. You've got a lot of work to do. You need a lot of bodies back, don't you, if you're going to make an impact?
Yeah, look, we've sort of targeted the second round, hopefully going to run. But, yeah, a couple of boys back hopefully this week, and they're slowly. We got Brody Kenyon back last week, played through reserve grades. So getting a player like that back on board would be huge for us. But, you know, all the teams, there's not much in the division between the teams. So, need to be on our game regardless of who we play. I know Newmarket, New Farmer down towards the bottom there, who we've got this weekend, but I think they've signed another boy. I think they've signed Jordan Maxwell, I believe, who's a handy striker. So we need to be on our game no matter who we play. And, yeah, hopefully we can get the points this weekend rolling into the Cup next Tuesday night.
So Pine Hills have played 1 less game than the top 3. So if they win that makeup game, that puts them on 20 points and well in the mix.
Look, they've got a great squad down there at the moment. They've just signed those couple of boys from Brisbane City who are rather handy lads to have on board. For me, they're probably looking at the squads. That's the pick of the squads out of the competition. So I expect them to go on with it this season and really give the top 2, if not the premiership, a shake from here, just a matter of them keeping boys on the park. I see they get a lot of red cards next to their names, so whether that's frustration or I don't know what it is, but yeah, there seems to be a few red cards in their fixtures. So if they can keep their blokes on the park, I'd nearly tip them to be definitely top 2, if not first coming into the season. I know they handed Newmarket their first loss on the weekend, so yeah. They're in a hot bit of form at the moment.
I have to arrange to get interview with Michael Brockwell very shortly. North Pine on top. They're going great guns, aren't they?
They are. I mean, they're a team that's been in and around that BPL Cup 1 for years. I know the last couple of seasons were a little bit of rebuilding. They've got a decent squad up there. We drew with them 1-1 away. Could have gone either way that night, I thought. But yeah. Winning's a habit, and they seem to be doing it at the moment quite well.
Daniel Clayton with 10 goals so far, so he's spearheading the attack, so 10 in 10.
They got another boy up there, Cullerton, I believe, is in the top.
Cullerton, yeah.
well. So helps when you got a couple of boys at the top of the goal scorers charts, that's for sure.
That's right. All right. So let's have a look at this week's fixtures. There we go. Just getting them up. So as you said, you're taking on New Farm.
Yep.
All right. Yes. So Pine Hills have Slacks Creek, Moggle hosting Annerley, North Pine up against Logan Metro. Oh, that's the big game. And AC Carina up against Newmarket. So North Pine up against Metro. That's the opportunity for the clubs behind to play a bit of catch up.
Yeah, that'd be a good fixture. You look, the highlights went up that. That was one of the TV games in the first round. I thought that game could have gone either way. Plenty of team had chances. Metro had a player sent off, if I recall correctly. I'm sure they've got a point to prove, and they want to get the 3 points in this one, so it'll be a cracking game. But yeah, all the other teams, like I said, you just need to go on a run of games, and you'll see yourself go up that ladder quite quickly because everyone's taking points off everyone in this league.
All right, let's turn now to Village Law Capital League 2. And a good win for Redcliffe PCYC, 4-3 over Barden Latrobe. Clairvaux, 1-0 win over Westside. North Brisbane, a 2-0 away win at Oxley. Narangba also had a 2-1 away win at Kangaroo Point Rovers, as did Willowburn at Springfield United. Get the feeling Willowburn are starting to get their act together here. And as we check the ladder, yes, they've moved up into 5th place. So being right down the bottom in the first couple of rounds, it looks like they're getting their act together. North Brisbane are on top, though. Clean 7 from 7 on 21 points. Redcliffe PCYC second on 15. Clairvaux in third on 14. And Springfield United on 10. What do you make of that, Pato? I know you probably don't have too great an interest in this league, but North Brisbane on top, they've been pretty consistent.
Yeah, they were a very strong team last year when we played them. I think they've recruited a couple of boys this year. I think a couple of Bayside boys, I believe, have gone out there. From the highlights I've seen, they look a very solid outfit. Obviously, I keep a little bit of an eye on the league with Springfield, our rivals, being in it. And I think they've dropped two on the trot now. So, yeah, I think that'll be a very close league as well. But for me, from what I've seen so far, I think North Brisbane could be the runaway leaders in that one.
Narangba get their second win of the season. They could be starting to get on a roll and moving up the ladder as well. Let's have a look at this weekend's fixtures. Clairvaux hosting Redcliffe PCYC. Westside up against KPR. Narangba taking on Springfield United. That should be a beauty. Willowburn up against Oxley United, and North Brisbane taking on Barden Latrobe. Now, I should mention that I have been trying to get a few of the coaches from these clubs on the show. They keep saying, next week. So hopefully we'll get them soon. Narangba, Springfield United, that's the one that sticks out for me, Pato.
Yeah, I've heard, is it true, Andre Bonotto's playing at Narangba these days?
That is correct.
If you've got some quality like that running around your side, you'd expect to be moving up that ladder quite quickly. So, it should be a good game. Be a tough little trip for Springfield. And obviously, they want to get back in the winner's circle. So, be interested to see how that one pans out.
Okay. Let's have a look now at Village Law Capital League 3. Jimmy had a 3-0 win over D-Bay. Ridge Hills 3-0 over Bethania. Logan Village struggled again, 2-1 down to Brighton. Park Ridge and Tarragindi had a 0-0 draw, and Teviot Downs 2-0 over Pine Rivers. Logan Village, such big recruitment in the off-season, and looking at the ladder, they are in 8th position with 5 points after 7 games. They've got to be the biggest disappointment out of all the teams in the leagues.
Maybe they're just going on a cut run. Maybe that's the plan to take the big scalp of Ripley Valley next Tuesday.
Is it home or away?
We've got them at home, thankfully. So, they've definitely recruited very well, and they made a lot of noise about their recruitment. So, definitely the underachievers in that league as far as I'm concerned. So, it only takes one win to get yourself back on track. So, we'll see what happens.
Tarragindi are on top of the ladder on 16 points. We've got them lined up to come on the show in a couple of weeks' time as well. Brighton, second 15. Bethania, third on 13. Got them lined up to come on the show as well. Parkridge 13. And that's your top 4. So let's have a quick look at this weekend's fixtures. Pine River's up against Parkridge. Logan Village up against Ridge Hills. Tarragindi taking on Bethania. There's the game of the weekend. Brighton up against Jimboomba, and D Bay taking on Teviot Downs. There we go. So a lot of cup games next weekend, Pato. Where are we at with that competition? We've been through the group phases. It's now in the knockout. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, so the second round of the knockout. So I think it's the round of 16. No, it might be more than that. There might be 16.
16 teams left?
I think there could be. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, I think we're down to 16.
Sounds good. So you get through this one and quarterfinals. It's time to get excited then, isn't it?
Yeah, quite potentially. You look at the fact that a lot of BPL clubs have been knocked out. As long as we don't draw Albany Creek, I'll be happy if we get through the next round and see how far we can go, I suppose.
I'm actually going to go to one of the cup games next week, and I'll be able to report in next week on the results. I'll keep it under my hat as to which one I'm going to. But that's the wrap up of the week and looking at this weekend's fixtures. Pato, just before we go, you've got a lot of pictures in your background there. Which one's the pride and joy? A lot of jerseys.
There's a few jerseys in there. There's a couple of clubs of Ripley Valley, Taringa. Probably the Spurs one there, mate.
What year's that?
Geez, Mrs. will kill me. It was the first ever gift my now wife gave me. So, geez, 2000 and a long time ago, 2009 maybe.
It looks to be a Gareth Bale vintage.
Yeah, Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, a couple of big names on there. So, yeah, back when old Harry Redknapp was coaching, so I believe. So, yeah.
Very nice. I've got the one signed Man City shirt, and it's got Robinho on it. That's how old it goes.
All that, yeah. Sean Goder on there?
Not quite, no, not quite.
Yeah.
Robbie Fowler, though. Robbie Fowler.
Excellent.
All right. So thank you for your time this week, Pato. We had a few guests bail on us some in the last minute. So that's why it's just the two of us this week. But it's 2 weeks in a row. We've only had just the one guest. Anyway, we'll sort that out next week. So, Pato, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having us, mate. And just all the other clubs, I'd recommend getting on here, having a bit of a spruik about your club and let us know how you're going, because it's a great forum for everyone to get on and have a watch. So, yeah, cheers, Daz, and all the best for everyone on the weekend.
Thank you. All right. So this has been the Village Law SEQFC preview show, Football Brisbane edition. We will see you next week.